Hello everyone, it's Monday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Hi ladies.
Hi. Excellent morning.
Hi Mariam, how was your weekend?
Fine, thank you. I'm beginning to enjoy church.
Oh wow.
I really, really love my church, so thanks to you again. You know, and this is...
That's Daystar, right?
No.
Oh,
Christian Covenant.
Ah.
Yes.
Oh, CCC.
Covenant Christian. So, you see, normally when people hear, when I talk about church, I'm not really a church person.
No.
I believe in my personal relationship with God.
Yeah, we hear.
But this church just resonates with me in so many ways. I just like their practical teaching. You know, when I started, you're asking me, what do I think of the pastor? I'm not really, when I go to a place, I'm looking to the pastor because I know he's the person that is going to be on his best behavior. So I look to everyone else, you know, and see how they are. And everyone just, I love it.
So it fits you.
I'm enjoying church. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Yeah. So they're doing the program platform, the platform that they do every year.
Even if like how many years? Like
for
15?
many years. So I'm going this
the
Wednesday.
values of what it means and what they're doing.
It's just practical.
Yes.
I can put it in my day-to-day life. I love it. I do.
And I tell people everybody has their church. I remember the first time I walked into a church on the island and I was like, this is my church. This is just my, I could feel everything. It was as if the pastor was preaching to me directly.
Anytime I enter a church
everything.
in the island, I say this is not my
me.
church.
Oh, really?
Because I just get distracted by all the glam and all the...
Okay.
I totally get distracted.
And I like that
know,
they do workout Saturdays.
Oh, nice.
That's the kind of thing I would like.
I like to go to a church where people look normal. Just go there, look normal, and we just worship. Anyway, how's
normal
your...
for some, it's glam. Normal
Yeah.
for others, but people shouldn't fake it. I went to Owo on Friday.
Oh, have they buried their
No,
Not
they
yet.
haven't.
Okay.
They haven't actually. And I got back yesterday. The traffic, so Owo on a normal day without traffic should be a 4 to 5 hours journey
Right.
from Lagos. But it took us over 8 hours to get in here. And still, I wonder why whenever I see the reports from our current administration, is that Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, fantastic, like, oh, we've done a good job. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. Because if you do a road and the stretch, you have intermittent spots that are bad, intermittent spots that all of you will go into one lane.
Yeah. Work is in progress, Tokwe. They didn't say it was
has
finished.
been in progress before this administration.
Of course, now we understand that very clearly.
So my expectation is that this is the major entry and exit point for Lagos. It is terrible, and I hear that every day. People come back, they are coming back from their trip and they get home 2 a.m.
You know, you're saying this because you haven't traveled in a long time.
No, I traveled in January, and I
are people
understand.
saying
My
that
expectation was that it would get better.
It should have been, yes.
You know, there should be improvement, not that things will go bad.
Well, you know, it would be nice to hear what people that apply the road always,
Yeah,
every day
because
say.
we go a bit more
TV,
often probably than Tokwe, and I've seen an improvement. I've seen
You're
improvement.
going to redeem.
No. I got to Ife now. We've gone to Ekiti. So I'm saying I passed that road and I see that, yes, it's not totally done, but there's been improvements.
Akure Owo Road, the road that takes you through Akure all the way. I thought that, okay, this is, somebody was not asking me that, is it a state road or a federal road? I said it's a federal road. So how come they haven't done anything? Like, those roads need work.
Yeah.
So people our culture is still heavily based on transportation of goods through the road. We need to do this. If we really want economic development,
I think the government understands that we need to do
we need to
roads.
spend less time on the
on
road if you want to.
I think definitely they know we need roads, but it's just that, anyway, it could be definitely better, I'm sure. Okay, let's move on to Virgil. How
When
are
she
you?
was talking just now, I just heard Daniel's voice. No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
How are you?
Oh, my weekend was great. Yesterday, my daughter turned 10.
Ah, you had the party outside?
No. Calm down.
I was like, wait, the invitation I checked said...
Your wine is ready.
Okay.
Calm down. So the father was excited. He
10 years.
sang for him in church.
Oh, Virginia, you have a 10-year-old.
Yes, I have a
As
10-year-old.
in, see, babe.
Yeah. And he was teary. My daughter was crying, and I was wondering what's going on. It's just
birthday.
What's happening?
Milestone.
But then, yes, it is
Yeah,
a
big
huge
10 is a
one.
big... everybody remembers the 10-year-old.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, she was so
everybody is 10.
excited. She's waiting for the party. She's asking. She spoke to you yesterday.
Yeah.
When the stop were coming, he said, Auntie Morayo is coming for the party. I said, yes. Oh.
Yeah, we're all going to be there.
sign
Trust
up.
me, I have a truckload of people coming. Trust me.
God, no
We'll be
problem.
there.
I'm ready
How
for
was
you.
your weekend, Ryan?
It was nice. It was nice. My daughter just dramatized this morning. I don't know why kids get so attached to the teachers. I mean, we made fried rice yesterday, and the girl started crying. Like, she wants to take fried rice to her teacher. I'm like, it's a lesson teacher. You do it. And the girl did not leave us. She made sure we drove to the teacher's house this morning.
To drop the fried rice?
To drop fried rice and chicken.
God.
I was like,
so sweet.
no, that's annoying. They deserve a slap on the face. You're going to school. I was like, I will smack your face. She didn't care. Used to love this fried rice much. Reach her teachers.
They've taught us about how to approach this thing. So what she wants to do is good. The timing is wrong.
It's bad timing. I'm like, I'm going to work. The dad is going to work. Drop you off in school, and you're talking about you want to take fried rice.
And we can take it later.
Yes,
but you did.
We eventually did. And the teacher wasn't around. It was the teacher's father that we met. And they were wondering, okay, fried rice in the Monday morning. Like, Baba, please, just give it to your daughter. This child did not.
Kids are like that. As a teacher, I got a lot of that. They just tell their parents,
if I was
when they like you.
My kid was happy. He was like, we're going to school today, and this is the happiest day of my life. I'm going to school today. I'm wondering,
imagine.
Wow.
Seriously?
Okay, this is good.
Imagine doing that when I was a kid.
I think it's better that your child is happy to get back to school than to be crying.
Yeah.
You're wondering what's happening in school when
my baby was crying.
Okay, it's Monday.
It's Monday.
Enough of family gist.
Oh yeah, well, it's weekend.
We heard drama is going on in Bayelsa. We'll talk about it a bit. Let's first of all tackle these papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back. We're starting with The Nation. Buhari mobilizes governors for Lawan Gbajabiamila. APC disputes Atiku's claim on being Nigerian by birth. Miyetti Allah's chief knocked over Tinubu. Wage Makinde kicks as Ajimobi meets NLC. Robbers kill Nan's spokesman. I read this APC disputing articles. They have a witness, actually, who is insisting that is a family member of, there's a close family member of the former vice president's parents.
Okay.
He knows when he was born. He knew when he lost his sister. He knew when the father died. I mean, he was given.
He was unnamed. Garba Abubakar is Atiku's father, and he's saying that Atiku's father is not a Nigerian. And Garba, that's the father. Yes.
But this person, they are keeping his name. They're not telling us who he is because of security purposes, obviously. But they're saying that he knows Garba Abubakar very, very well. He was able to highlight all the major landmarks in Atiku's life.
Early years.
When he was
Atiku
born.
grew up in Nigeria, right? So how about all those that were born
His parents and his grandparents are not Nigerians.
It doesn't matter.
None of it. And
by
even
naturalization,
he, according to this witness, wasn't born in Nigeria, according to this witness. So, I mean, if they're able to prove this, this is going to be this is going to be.
But it's going to you know what I feel? It's going to affect a lot of people in politics.
On both sides.
Yes, because we have people who have been born in America and in London, and they carry those passports, and they're
citizens.
They are politicians.
And why are they bringing this out now? He was the vice president of this nation.
It's suspicious. Good question, Biajilu. Very suspicious.
Yes, now.
Why is this coming out now?
Yeah, it's
very heavy
But
question.
the thing is, they must understand that this is not going to affect only Atiku. It would affect everybody, because going forward, everyone will be scrutinized in the line of where was your father born, where was your mother born, where are they from.
But there's a school of thought that if we've won free and square, would you go this far? Am I making sense?
Yes, you are. So the spokesman to the National Association of Nigerian Students, Comrade Aderi Gbigbe, was stabbed to death by suspected robbers. So they said it happened around 11:30 p.m. He was stabbed. His laptop and phones were taken from him, and then three members of the gang that stabbed him. One of them is a son to a popular monarch in the area.
Yeah.
And he's been like on the spotlight. The police have been looking for him because he just came back from prison for 6 months ago. And they've caught him. Two are at large, and hopefully we'll get investigation.
There's another story that caught my attention, but I'm not sure I have enough time. The governor-elect in Oyo State was kicking because the current governor was having a meeting with NLC because for 30,000 minimum wage. And it's like, don't go and negotiate something I cannot pay. Just calm down. We are coming in 30 days. You know, and I'm like, can't you just trust each other? Can't we all just get along? You know, trust that the governor will do the thing and the right thing. Moving on to Daily Sun. Disagreement over 2023 presidency. Ohaneze Fulani elders. Others fought Miyetti Allah's position on Southeast and Tinubu. Can to federal government release El Zakzaki, Dasuki now. UMT jam alerts on new scam to defraud candidates. Leadership tussle divides APGA. Bauchi governor-elect Bala Mohammed faces bribery charges. Oh, I wanted to read that story. I totally forgot to read that story. Okay, to federal government, who has that story? Zaki.
So I have the story. The Christian Association of Nigeria, Reverend Samson, their leader, is urging the federal government to make sure that they release El Zazaki, that he's been granted bail by the court, but then the federal government is still holding on to him. They should as well release Dasuki for everyone who they have been holding without, when the federal government has said they should go ahead and release them, they should just release those people into...
So Jam, I have the story for Jam. So Jam is in the news for very good things these few days. And again, it's uncovered another fraud that's happening. We have people who get the numbers, registration numbers of candidates. They've written their JAM and are awaiting results, so they get their numbers. And from the numbers, you are able to get their phone numbers and other vital information. Then they call up these candidates who are awaiting results and say to them, we are officials of JAM and we can help, give you higher scores, and so put them under pressure. So JAM is saying, be careful. Right. There's no one that can do that for you. They do not have, there's no JAM official that has the power to give you higher grades than you got.
It's good they're telling us on the papers. It's great. Yes. Moving on now to The Punch. NLC chapters set to write governors on implementation. That's a 30,000 naira minimum wage. Brutalized punchman last month withdraws power-drunk officials from duty and invites victim. State police not solution to banditry, says ACF. Man wrongly imprisoned for 27 years, seeks 20 billion naira compensation. Poisonous Pomo in Lagos. Health Ministry wants. Unfortunately, that story wasn't in page 10, so I couldn't find the story. EFCC presses fresh charges against Bauchi governor-elect. Honestly, this Pomo story is really, really scary, but as I said, we couldn't find the story in the papers, so let's take another story. The man that was wrongly imprisoned 27 years.
So
really
this
sad.
Man, Clinton Kanu, 56-year-old man, was wrongly imprisoned for murder. According to him, he was jailed for 27 years.
As long as Mandela.
According to him, he got into a situation whereby they had issues with the in-laws, and they accused him of stealing generator and fluorescent. And then along the line, they started changing the case to murder. And this poor man was kept in prison for 27 years.
I really wish he wins this case, because the truth is that there are lots of people in that prison that are falsely accused.
Lots of them.
It's not just falsely accused.
So what is he asking for?
I have a personal experience on Thursday of someone who went voluntarily to support a case in support of the police, went to the police station only to find out that he was being taken to the court, and they kept him there till 3 o'clock. Judgment came by 3 o'clock, and he spent the night in Ikoyi prison. This man left in the morning, like, I'm going to cooperate with the police. They said, I have information, let me help them.
Oh my God.
And the next thing, he had to pay over 200,000 naira.
To get himself out.
To get himself out the next day.
This happened in Owerri. This story in the papers happened in Owerri in 1992. It's been a long time.
Yes,
but the truth is that we need one of these wins to be able to deter police officers from just rounding up people without actually having convicted them.
Conniving with people that have negative intentions to punish someone.
So he's suing for 20 billion naira. I sincerely hope he gets at least half of that, because honestly, this is something that's
so the LASMA.
Okay, go ahead.
We know the LASMA official. Remember the story of the punchman, that was brutalized by LASMA for just being at the wrong place at the wrong time. So LASMA is doing a very good job. They've dismissed the 5 officials that were involved in the brutalization and harassment of this Nigerian citizen. They said that they've been taken off the streets and put away. So I don't know if he's working if it means that the official is working in the office or not, but he's not on the streets, and that they are going to see that these people are properly disciplined. But they're saying to Nigerians, even though we're doing this, making sure that disciplinary action is taken on LASMA officials, you guys please do your own part to follow proper traffic rules and regulations, so that there's free flow of traffic.
And I'm happy that Punch didn't drop the story. They kept on it, so we have to keep doing the same thing. Moving on to the Nigerian Tribune, revealed how 6 directors cost Onoge his job. Dangote, our daddy, donates multi-billion naira 2,160 bed hostels to ABU. Why Buhari APC are desperate to remain in power, says PDP. ASU rejects federal government's verification exercise for payroll system. Ekiti exercise for payroll system. Ekiti Oba returns 6 months after abdicating throne. TUC Serap reject life pension for Bayelsa lawmakers. 371 IDPs rendered homeless as fire rages Borno camps. Dangote is donating.
I know.
No, it's our daddy.
Our
My own daddy has died.
Okay,
so
my
I'm the daddy
uncle.
right now.
So he donated at the weekend 2,160 bed space hostel, complex hostel.
My alma mater.
Yes, Ahmad Bello
yes.
University in Zaria. He remember that he did something similar to them in the
Bayero.
University of Ibadan and Bayero as well. So he's saying that this is his contribution to the education in our country, and they conferred on him an honorary doctorate as well.
You know what I observe about Dangote is that, and I hope lots of people can learn from this man. Even aside from the other big things he does, I love the fact that anytime you see a Dangote, you see his daughter. His succession plan is already there. You see it. Tomorrow, nobody wakes up and says, "Oh, I am the daughter that just came from America." No, no, no. She's there with him. A lot of people don't have children to hand over to. She's what I'm saying. She's already in the system. You know her. All his contacts know her. So. A lot of rich people, wealthy people, we have no idea where their kids are.
That they should emulate is charity, is giving back to the society. Because if every billionaire, and we have a lot of them, if all of them are giving back in the same quantum that we see Dangote doing in all these areas.
Fantastic. And in addition, he gives for the right things. Education, power, electricity. You know, he's actually, crude oil, he's trying to build a refinery. These are things that we need. Dangote.
Still within the educational sector, though, ASU is crying out, rejecting the verification process, says that the government has they protested against this integrated personal payroll system before, and it was agreed that this IPPIS they didn't want it. Now, this is the plan that they want to use. The president of the union, Professor Biodo Guyemi, stated in a letter that they don't have anything against personal data verification process, but that they shouldn't request for this number, IPPIS number, because they are against it. And I think that we've had too many strikes in our university in recent times. Can we listen to them now?
So that
before they go on strike? Because we tend to wait until they go on strike. They've made this announcement in the past, and that's why I'm screaming about it. So that none of the leaders will say they did not know about it before they will now say we are resorting to strike to resolve this issue. Let's listen to them.
Okay, let's move on to Vanguard. I wish I read Vanguard. Unfortunately, I did not. But I really want to take that sentence out. The major headline says, economy bleeds as power system collapses. We don't have electricity to everybody. So they're telling us the reasons why I think they have an issue with the transmission or generation.
Oh, all of them.
All of them.
So we have a transmission problem. So even if they generate more than the generators, the people generating power, the GENCOs, generate over 5,000, we don't have capacity to transmit more than 4,000 megawatts. So that already is a problem. However, even the distribution channel doesn't even have capacity to push more out. So there was an issue. No, that's a different issue. There was a problem that happened there that caused the issue of gas. Yes, there was a drop in gas supply. So that was the issue for this current drop. That we don't have gas supply.
Okay, there was another story. I have no regrets joining APC, Senator Akpabio. I really wanted to read that story, but unfortunately I didn't. Federal government's new payroll system, dubious. I think you talked about that already. UTME, we've uncovered new scam to defraud candidates. Ekitioba returned 6 months after he abdicated. Who heard that? Nobody read that story. You guys didn't do Vanguard today. State of the nation, we're back to Nadeko Day, says Bokno Akerele. Let's move on now. I think that's all we can take. There's no other story we haven't taken. Okay, let's see if what's going. The Guardian. See, that Dixie matter and Bielsa, we'll talk about it in the hot topic. Let's not even go there. Outrage as Dixon signs bill for Bielsa lawmakers' life pension.
Hey.
Anyways, here's another story. 15 dead in gun battle, actually, with bombing suspects in Sri Lanka. Obaakran wrote that president didn't see cut into two.
Oh, yes, that's a really big deal. Obaakran links Ikeja to a major industrial district, right? Ogudu, where you have like the Guinness and all of that. And that road is terrible right now. Very, very bad. And we're saying that it is so close to where the president came to, to visit, and that part is really, really bad. So we're saying it's like really.
The state has cut into two.
It's not passable, and you could blame the trailers because they have a lot of heavy-duty vehicle moving on that road, but you cannot blame them because they are also paying taxes. The tax supposed to cover the roads being fixed. Please, it should have on many roads.
Right, unfortunately, that is all we can take on front page review. When we come back. Bayelsa lawmakers. Now what for you? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So according to reports, there's crisis brewing in Bayelsa right now over the bill that was recently passed by the House of Assembly, approving life pensions for all past and current members of the legislature. Report also has it that stakeholders in the state, including the civil society organizations and political parties, are all preparing to protest. What are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. All right. So this is in definitely different angles. We know that the speaker is supposed to get 500,000 naira monthly for life.
For life. Oh.
The deputy speaker, 200,000 naira monthly, and the lawmakers, 100,000 naira.
For life.
Now, the issue is, why? I mean, we're being told it's the first local House of Assembly that's actually doing the State House of Assembly that is doing this. Why was this done in such secrecy? Nobody really knew they were working on this bill. And there was fear that maybe the governor actually is behind this whole thing. What are your thoughts, generally? Let me start with
My
Mariam.
thoughts is it's obvious why it's the secrecy or why it was quiet, because they knew that it would be unpopular to people. And people are also afraid that the governor may probably assent to this because he just hasn't made any reactions towards how people are feeling. Luckily for Bayelsa and Bayelsans is that they are on top of this. So you have CSOs and, of course, the opposition party, APC, fighting to make sure that this does not happen. And they're saying that they're going to do like a there'll be protests today in Bayelsa to show that they do not want this bill to pass. And I'm happy for Nigerians that, we're taking proactive steps. Usually, this would have happened after the bill has been passed. But people are aware of what is happening, and they do not want it. And lawmakers, you know that you're there to represent the people, and the people are saying they do not want this. I think it will be
Thank you very much, Mary.
I think it will be very dangerous for the governor to pass something that the people clearly have stated they do.
So it's been passed. We're just waiting for the governor to assent to it.
Yeah.
But I'd like to open the phone lines too, especially those living in Bayelsa. We'd like to hear your views on this because I hear that lots of people are talking about it right now. So I'd like to hear people from Bayelsa. Let's hear your views on this bill that has been passed by the House of Assembly. Let me come to you, Benjamin.
This just further explains to me why people want to die in power. Because they have it's like an adage that says they have the yam and they have the knife. So I get into power, I'm able to make bills that would, protect
Benefits.
me and my family for the rest of my life, ignoring the citizens that put me there. And that is what exactly is happening. How can you pass such a bill that will pay you for the rest of your life, even when you are out of service? Are you there to serve the common man, or you are there to serve your pocket?
And
That's
the bizarre part of this
is
is the rush in which this
do it
bill
and the secrecy.
was done. Other bills concerning important lives takes forever. But
be
this one,
passed.
as per your money, sharp,
immediately.
it's been passed.
Unfair.
So it just speaks of insecurity. The fact
On the part of the
that-
lawmakers?
On part of the lawmakers.
Okay.
They're not, when you leave power, and if you've done good, everybody, if you're a resourceful person, wherever you find yourself, you will make things happen for you. But when you are unresourceful, you will be cheating the system to create room for yourself because you're insecure in your capacity to take care of yourself. Now, if there is power, if there is light, if there is health sector covered, if the hospitals are good, if the education is covered, you will not be hustling and stealing or trying to protect yourself for the future. Murayo, Bayelsa is struggling to pay salaries. They already said they cannot pay 30,000 naira.
They don't have good water.
They cannot pay salaries. And now they want to pay themselves. Every assembly member would get 100,000 naira for the rest of their life. So that means if you resign from being in the assembly at 40 and you live for the next 40 years, you will keep on getting 100,000 naira every month. Can we fund that system? No, obviously no.
Let me take this call from Alfred. Alfred, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I would like to say that.
Sorry, we lost that.
So here's my take.
ask.
Everybody So the people, the citizens of this state, and there are enough people in that state that should be aware of this, because you are not supposed to, as a Lagos, as a House of Assembly, Bayelsa State House of Assembly member, represent yourself for your own self-interest. The idea is you are elected to represent people in your locality. So everybody be represented by those people. There was a unanimous decision. Nobody on the floor spoke up against this law. So everybody can now ask their representatives in the State House of Assembly that, is this what we sent you to do? Is this actually protecting us as citizens of Bayelsa State? Is it what we need most at the moment? Then you can hold them accountable.
Okay, we hear there's a similar bill in Lagos, but it's not been passed yet. But we understand generally that the principal officers, the governors, the Speaker of the House, they have pensions.
Speaker and the deputy.
We are still fighting against, because for life,
still against.
even when they're going to retire into the Senate, they still get these pensions. So we're saying now you're just a lawmaker. Your job is just to come, make laws from your constituency. Now you also want to get pensions forever. Does that make any sense to a lot of people?
You know what? I think what we should do now is to ensure, I don't know if this happens, that they have other jobs that they do. Maybe we should just get people from professional sector. I'm a doctor, I'm a teacher, and then I come and play that part, just like maybe jury. Just come play your part maybe twice a week and then go back to your job. Maybe if you have a job that provides you your monthly salary,
being a lawmaker is not a profession. Nobody goes to school to study lawmaking.
Right.
Nobody. The idea is you decide that the people in my area are not being well represented. Let me go and speak up for them. It's not a full-time job.
Was saying that they should make it a part-time job. Really. It should be part-time. Because
they sit twice or 3 times in a week, so it's not
Okay.
every day.
I remember when Obama had a case where they were questioning how he was spending money, and he told them that I wrote a book and I've been paid, I have royalties coming in, because he had something he was doing. And when I read the wife's book, what's it called again? Becoming. She mentioned that most of the things they eat in the house was paid for by them. So when they have a guest and the guest comes in and eats too much, they know that the bill is landing on their table. That is the president of a country. So if we can have people who they have a day job. Let me take
Habib. Habib, are you there?
Good morning, Mariah.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. What I wanted to say is that if they can pay themselves, it's good. But they will make the law that we pay the whole citizen of Bayelsa 100,000 each. If they can find out, it will be good for them. And if you can take a look at the Bayelsa community, it's so bad that you can't even explain that this is where the resources of Nigeria is coming from. This is a bad nation and this is a good bad government. And you can still talk of the Yoyo governor, the one of Ajimobi, the bad governor, I must say. Thank you, Habib.
Again, I would really like to open the phone lines and get calls from Bayelsa. We would really like to hear your thoughts on it, because we know people are really upset about this. But if we look at it on the flip side, these are people who actually have served the people. They've served their people, and they're lawmakers. I know, but I'm trying to see.
They're not going to war.
Understand their own side of the story.
A story last week. One man had the opportunity of getting his own house, that he was going to get it free, but it chose the entire community. That is the kind of leadership we expect from a House of Assembly. Yes, because when you are there, you're not meant to speak for yourself.
Exactly.
You are speaking, whenever you stand up, you say, it's not me, I am speaking for everybody in my area. Is this really what everybody in your area wants? Do they want you to sort yourself for life while you are sharing their commonwealth and they are left to fend for themselves anyhow? It shouldn't be.
It's unfair.
Unfortunately, we can't take it. I mean, that's pretty much the summation of the whole thing. Would like to hear, people can still call us throughout the show. But first,
Dixon to sign that.
The governor actually, we're hearing stories that he's actually
behind it.
That he's the one that initiated this bill. But we don't know that for a fact. We're just hearing based on reports. Let's go on a break. We'd like to hear your views. When we come back, there are other hot topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Your view.
Thanks for staying with us. So still on state issues, the Benin branch of the Nigeria Bar Association, NBA, on Thursday barred its members from handling cases of kidnapping. According to the report, the branch hereby orders the immediate withdrawal of services of all lawyers registered with it from defending persons charged with the grievous and felonious offenses of kidnapping and armed robbery. Now, what are your own thoughts on this? Considering that we have someone like Evans arrested, you can call us on 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us on TVC. Please send us a tweet on TVC at
Hashtag.
your view TVC. Now, the reason why I brought up the Evans issue because Evans was arrested for being a kidnapper, right?
Yeah.
So if Evans was in Benin right now,
He won't have a lawyer.
he won't have a lawyer.
That man, the lawyer won't be making money.
So I don't understand the rationale behind this
Exactly.
this pronouncement by the NBA, but we called Nima because she's our legal colleague, in-house colleague. Maybe she has a view on this, and then hopefully later I also took to talk to Libros to see if this is appropriate. Nima, are you on?
I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning. What happened to you? We didn't see you today. What happened?
I didn't take a break. It was a busy weekend.
Okay, Pele. So this pronouncement by the NBA, is it legal for them to say that? Is this constitutional?
The NBA are guided by their own rules, their rules of professional conduct. But I'm aware, even while studying, that there's no rule that bars lawyers from taking a brief. In fact, we are compelled to accept brief. There are a few exceptions to turning down a brief, which will be usually your morals or a conflict of interest where you have another brief from a conflicting client, maybe the opponent, or in the case, the respondent as the case may be. So those are the only grounds where you turn down briefs, but we are compelled to accept briefs and, deliver the most professional standard in protecting the client.
In the case of the kidnappers, who protects the rights? If Evans indeed was not the alleged kidnapper, someone like an Evans, that's the only one we know right now. I mean, are we saying that who protects his own rights for defense? NBA is saying that.
I was shocked to see this when they brought out this report. As you know, they are bearing all their members from protecting any kidnapper's case. This order, as it is, already negates the presumption of innocence. And on that basis alone, I believe it will fail in every place they take it.
Right. All right, thank you very much, Nima.
On a moral ground, I support the NBA.
Okay.
On a moralistic, and I know that, there's this common saying that lawyers are liars because they are compelled by their job to defend a criminal, even against what you know is right. It's a tough job to be in. That's why I'm happy I'm not a lawyer. However, because we have a society that is struggling to deal with these crimes, we cannot afford to be giving them our intelligence, which is what lawyers do. Lawyers lend their sharp minds to help criminals escape. And they say it is my professional job. I'm paid to do this. But the point is, we have a problem.
You agree with the NBA?
I don't know if it is legal or not, but moralistically, I agree with us shutting down anyone. If you realize that the fact that you are allegedly linked with kidnapping, it means that you are totally already guilty. Of course, you would run away from that kind of thing. It's a strong deterrent.
And what if you are not guilty? So we have people across the country who have been kidnapped from different professions. We have medical doctors, we have expatriates, we have all of them, and they are being kidnapped. So do they shut down their businesses from servicing? Because these kidnappers and armed robbers, we don't know them personally. They come to eat, they buy food, they wear clothes. Do you shut down your business? Because one of the reasons I'm going this way is the NBA has made a grievance, established a grievance that some of them were kidnapped or almost kidnapped. And that's
lawmakers and the NBA.
And also, some lawyers file frivolous cases whereby they try to delay the proceedings to make sure that they get their client, who is probably the kidnapper, out of the case. So do you now shut down businesses? Law is a business for somebody. Shut down their business because, exactly, I don't think it makes sense.
Well, I think, once again, Nigeria, we just know how to, when we want to tackle a problem, we tackle it from the top, not from the root. So we have a problem now with the way lawyers are defending kidnapping. But the thing is that you have lawyers on both sides. You have them on the kidnapper side, you have them on the government side. Maybe you should look at having better lawyers to make sure that the cases against these kidnappings, are done properly. Because we hear cases concerning not just kidnappers and murderers, corrupt officials. They are in court for years and years and years and years, and nobody is asking. And nobody is asking lawyers not to defend them. We have SANs, hundreds of SANs that will follow a politician.
Exactly.
Nobody is asking to stop that. The thing we need to do, and what we say is that we wish EFCC had better lawyers, and that is what I expect Benin chapter to be looking at. What are the measures that they're taking on that case? Then secondly, you can't do this. It's just so wrong. Because first of all, we know how police officers have sort of bungled cases over the years, and people, we have just read about the man that spent 27 years in prison for nothing he didn't do. Can you imagine the number of people that may be locked up for kidnapping and murder that they didn't commit?
This law, this ban, will not on its own end kidnapping, and that we must all agree to. However, we have a culture of ostracizing people that have committed crimes, and it helped in our culture. Back in the days, if you have been known to carry out an abomination or something that is known to the society, agreed with in the common law, by the locality, in the culture, that this is wrong. If you do it, you are ostracized. And it works. They will not give you food. They will not allow you to come into their house. They would ban you from everything. So and that helped us. No, I'm going somewhere. And that helped us to an extent. So it is not on its own going to help. Also, moralistically, I believe any lawyer that represents a corrupt person is in himself corrupt, even though he will wear the wig and CEO. Like I said, I'm not worried about this.
Okay,
even if you wear it.
Wait, I'll come to you, Mariam. Hang in. I'll come to you, because sometimes I worry that, do we really need a democracy? Because when we talk like this, it's almost as if, let's decide what we want. If we want an autocratic system where the leader says it all, then we can have such things that happen. Our president had that issue. I'll come to you, Mariam. Our president had that issue because he knew that during his time as a general, he could make laws anyhow and pronouncement, and people will be either hanged or jailed. Yeah. But now he has to go through the system. The same thing. If we are subjecting ourselves to democratic rules, to civil society,
let's follow the process.
People should actually have a right to defense. Yeah. Yes, I'm a kidnapper, but prove it in court.
Beyond any reasonable doubt.
We need to be careful. This sort of rhetoric, we talk about jungle justice all the time.
Right.
And I just feel that when you talk about how our culture ostracizes people, we also have the culture that does jungle justice. And the law provides that what the law does in cases like this, it protects people from jungle justice and things like that. So we need to be careful. That law is important. You know the Bible passage that says God blesses the rainfalls on both the just and the unjust. Good for them. But the thing is that at least we know that no innocent person is paying
I'd like
for the crime
to speak to Libros. Producer can get Libros on the phone, or any other lawyer who actually goes to court. Let us see if their own thoughts on this. Let me let you come in here.
So I would have suggested, I'm not a lawyer, I don't know how that works, but I would have suggested that because they know that some of these lawyers, have a way of stretching proceedings because they want to, support, they want to prove their client's case beyond any reasonable doubt. They should sanction, they should make like, how many proceedings should we have for each case, an armed robbery case or a kidnapping case, so you don't overstretch it. So have like, if you have 3, you have to go for 3 proceedings, and before you close this case, anyhow you want to close it.
Can they do that?
Yes, they can. And those people, I said, I'm suggesting, then those people who flout the laws can now be sanctioned.
So, let's rest this for a second, because we probably need a real lawyer. We're trying to get a few lawyers.
So before we go, let me say the last thing. Remember, we're all innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah. Morais, the sad part is that our system is meant to be fair, but how fair has it been? We still have many people that are innocent in prison. We have those that we know are guilty that because they have enough money to pay for the sands, they walk free. So if the system is not fair, it might end up bringing that. Let us bring in that military, that benevolent autocratic person, that benevolent military man, draconian, that will say, because if I know that it's going to be an issue with
let's rest this for now. Let's rest it, because the truth is that we can't exhaust it, obviously, because what we need a real professional, a lawyer to come and tell us if what NBD has said is possible. Can it be done? So hopefully we get, Nima has told us of views, we'll also get other people's views. Let's go on a break. When we come back, this issue of Nigerians in the diaspora, they are sending serious money home. I think it's $24 billion we heard. We heard. So we need to talk to them. We need to engage them because they can't be our future. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So recently, the federal government says it's targeting at least 200 investors in the diaspora to come back home and invest to boost Nigerian businesses. Sectors like healthcare, agricultural businesses, education, entertainment, hospitality, and tourism. On the show today, we have a Nigerian who lived in diaspora and is back after 40 years. Whoa. So welcome with us, Mr. Dewumi Williams. Welcome to the show.
Come on,
40 years ain't no joke, bro. That's a long
joke.
time.
That's
Where
right.
where was this 40 years?
40 years in the U.S.
In the United
Oh,
States.
okay, so even
Great.
Yes, yes.
But
That's right.
you see, the special advisor to the president on diaspora issue, Abike Dabiri, came, I think she said, was it $25 billion being remitted to Nigeria.
That's a legit
huge.
one.
It is huge.
And obviously, Nigeria hasn't taken enough seriousness to the importance of the Nigerians in diaspora, as other sectors, other countries have. You know, India don't joke with the Indians in diaspora. I'm asking you now, first of all, as you're coming home now, as you're home now, what are your expectations? What do you hope to have? What will make your own intentions come to life?
Well, thank you for, that's a great question. When you've been away for 40 years, obviously, this is it's like a brand new, coming to a brand new culture, really. I left when I was 19 years old.
Wow.
And so I'm, 60 now? But I've been coming the last 15 years because it's kind of like dipping my toes in the water so my expectation is that I don't expect Nigeria to look like USA, what I've been used to, but I look from a different set of lens. Yes. There are opportunities, even in the chaos, even in the irregular that you see on the streets and around you. So we bring a lot of technical skills that we think we can use to convince people that there are different ways of doing things that could be better. My goal is to, in my own mile around me, let me exercise my sphere of influence to create employment, to create opportunity for investment, to better the lives of people. Genuinely. The other thing is that the message I want to get out to Nigerians here is that there are a lot of Nigerians abroad who want to really invest, but they are looking for a trusted partner, somebody they can trust, that they can partner with as they send this money that can put it to good use for the betterment of the country or to achieve their purposes.
Okay, so I understand that most times when we bring in people from diaspora, it's either into charity or enterprise. And there's always the complaint that the government, even if you want to carry out charitable activities, have stringent bureaucratic measures that would make you get tired of, I don't even want to do this, even with the enterprise. So how best do you think the government can create an enabling environment based on your experience with trying to set up things in Nigeria? What are the areas you feel can bring in that quick inflow of cash if the government implements? What do you think they can do?
Well, first of all, it's in helping them with navigating the waters to say, here is our structure, and make it really quick, because if you make it long, we get discouraged in a hurry. And I think they should create a forum where they listen, they invite us and they listen to us and say, here is how it works over there. Here's what we need. We need short trip down this lane and that lane. And then give it to us. Don't make it long. My sense is that every engagement with the government so far is that you get into it, it's like a maze. You never know how you're going to get out of it.
Wow.
So please clear that up. There is no reason.
Recently, I think the very first summit for diaspora and investment summit, I don't know if you heard about it, it was organized by the special advisor to the president on diaspora matters.
Yes,
so I don't
I'm
know,
aware.
is that something you came for? Were you in any way part of it? Have you heard about it? And has that influenced your coming back home?
registered with them because it did.
Well, I'm aware of that. Okay. I couldn't make this last one. She did mention it. Yeah. Unfortunately, I was in the process of retiring and transitioning, so I couldn't make that. Right. But I've attended one before. There was an exercise, one that was on in Niger State. That was the last one that I was involved with. What she's doing is excellent. It's a way to bring us in, bring us together, and figure out a way to exchange ideas, engage with people on the ground who have similar thoughts, so we can bring something about. Create the opportunity, and then when we give advice, let's do it.
Okay.
these things can be done. We live it and breathe it. I was in public service for 33 years.
In the U.S.?
In the U.S. as an executive, and we get things done. And listen,
What's next you
I
see?
would contribute for free. I don't want to be paid. With any agency out there doing roads, bridges, or whatever it is, that and there are people like that, like me out there, who will do contribute their ideas for free to help us to get better.
Exactly.
But what she's doing is good. It's a good beginning, but the government needs to support that. And then when they come out with ideas, expedite it.
Exactly.
If you don't expedite it, we get frustrated, and then we take our investment elsewhere.
So we have internal problems in the country. We have security issues in the country. We have people are being kidnapped every day, expatriates, foreign nationals on our soil. We have our own people who are struggling to do businesses. In fact, if you are a Nigerian and your business lasts 5 years, you should go to church and do major Thanksgiving because you spend so much trying to get that business afloat. We have council members who just come every day to take one tax or the other that they don't even remit to the government. The government is aware, they're not doing anything about it. Do you think that this diaspora initiative will work in a system like ours right now? Don't you think we should clean up our system first before we think of this diaspora investment?
I think it's simultaneous. I think the cleaning job should continue. One of the things I'm happy with is that, listening to you all talk earlier, I appreciate the energy, and I hope it continues, where we are starting to hold government accountable. And the media is a very, very strong partner in that.
Right.
You have to be aware and make sure you hold them accountable. But what the special advisor to the president, Ms. Abikedaberewa, what she's doing will work, but she has to have support from.
They're still waiting to pass the bill.
Do you say
the legislation has to be enabling legislation to make it work. It's key.
Do you sense that sometimes your expertise is maybe advanced beyond what we have here? Because my brother has that frustration. He's also, I think he does building inspection in Manhattan, and he's been doing that for over 30 years. And he's been trying to get into this country for the past, I think, almost 10 years now. He comes every 2 years just to test the waters, as you said. And when he talks about building collapsing, and they don't get it. It's just that until recently now that we're having back-to-back collapse in Lagos, people are now saying, okay, actually we need proper inspections. But when in the past few years he's been here, it wasn't as if he was just talking to the brick wall. Nobody understood what he was trying to say.
So why don't we get the diaspora to bring in charity as opposed to enterprise? Because the system we have might not encourage enterprise, where you are thinking, I invest and I'll make money. But if you do charity, which we do need in this nation, and you bring in your expertise as per, I'm just going to contribute. There's a university that is called University of the People, where you pay next to nothing, $100 just for the exams, and everything is free. People volunteer to get quality education down to those that cannot afford it. Is there not something that we can have a collaboration between people in the diaspora to lend their expertise to us as a nation, but on a charitable level, with a platform that engages Nigerians positively?
Yeah, I think, Chokwe, you're spot on about that. And there are organizations that would do that. Okay. They are willing to, as I was preparing to transition here, one of the things, because I was, my last assignment was as Assistant Director of Dallas Water Utilities, there were organizations that were telling me, look, Deomi, you need to go there, and as soon as you we just need access to the right people. So they are there. I think, so you have agencies like what Ms. Abikedaberewa is trying to do. If we can just link up, and then link up with NGOs that are well-intentioned. We don't want to deal with and bring the money here.
Yeah.
And
I think I have to go on a break.
For 40% of it to be
into people's pockets.
Into people's pocket. We want it to go for the
I think that's
purposes.
the real issue.
That's the key right there.
That's the key issue.
You need trusted
because you said trusted partners. In fact, that's the cocoa of the matter. Yes, because they are ready to invest. There's a channel, but the problem is when it gets there, it now ends up in the wrong hands. Yeah. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll open the phone lines to get your views and thoughts. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So we still have our guest who is a Nigerian in diaspora coming home to invest. And we're trying to get into your head to understand your issues you're having in investment, because we keep hearing of opportunities in Nigeria, but we're not seeing it. And you said something so critical, the issue of trusted partner. Now, that goes back to the fact that the government is doing their bit, trying to make a way for you to come home. But we, the people that you engage with, we're not being trustworthy. So it comes back to us. So how do we begin to change our orientation, understanding that our partners, our brothers coming from the US or from any part of the world are actually coming to help, because we need you in the health sector, in the infrastructure, the development of our roads, agriculture, education. There's so much we need. So what can we do as a people to be more receptive to your own ideas and thoughts and actions?
Quickly just add to that question. You know, we have been so used to scamming as a people that we're now scamming ourselves. You know, that's how. What do you expect from people? What do you expect them to do? How would you?
Well, there's, for instance, in the U.S., there's something called Better Business Bureau, and to be part of that, you have to be a legitimate business doing things by the good standards of doing business, being fair and forthright.
Right.
And so I think we need to, again, back to what you were saying a while ago, you have to create forum where you have, I think, almost a re-education of doing business. There's a way of doing business the Nigerian way. And you know what that means, and I will just stop there. But then there is a way of doing business, the international standard, which I think if you do those who do business with whether it's World Health Organization or World Bank, you are made to go through certain rigors. Well, we need to develop that rubric and bring people in, migrate them from the doing business the Nigerian way to doing business the international way, if you want that partnership from abroad. There were people who were waiting for me to get it. Said, well, that's a great idea. We can work on electricity, we can work on water utilities and all that, but who's on the ground? You have to go there. So I had to wait till I retired formally and come back here so I can create be the trusted hand to engage these people on the other side. And equally, I'm looking for left and right, trusted partners that I can engage with. You know, the fact is that there are a few good men and women out there.
Yeah, they are.
Let me take this call from Timothy from the UK. Timothy, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yes, I'm here. This is my first time of calling you.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, my concern is this. I've been away from Nigeria for the past 30 years.
Okay.
And I wanted to return to Nigeria. I've got my land and I have applied for CFO for the last 7 years. And up to now, I've not had anything from Lagos State government. And that is putting me off. I want to return to Nigeria, and I want to build my house before I could return. And I want to do everything right. But there's no cooperation from Lagos State so far.
So sorry.
Have you written to them? Have you contacted the commissioner? What have you done so far to get the CFO?
Well, what I've done is that my friend who's in Nigeria.
Trusted hand?
my friend in Nigeria,
yes.
I asked him to contact them several times. Last month, I got a letter. I got a letter from Lagos State asking me to come and pay
I have to cut you because you listen to yourself. This is exactly what he's saying. We don't even know that your friend is trusted because my own brother-in-law got a fake letter from the Lagos State government concerning a property. It was fake.
Ew.
The person, the contact in Nigeria, cooked it up. We had to go and verify. And they said, there's this thing come from our office.
So I think
that's trusted hand again.
The talk of the summit. So, and I know that the summit, one of the things it's trying to do is provide like a proper structure for people like you. When you come, at least you have an institution that deals directly. You said you've been to 1 or 2 meetings. Do you think that summit, the diaspora investment that Abike Dabri is talking about, would solve issues like what he's just mentioned? That you're trying to do your business from abroad, you know?
Bringing us together like she does helps.
Okay.
And I think what happens is then you begin to form relationships, and in that forum though there needs to be continuous dialogue about what our expectations are to get business is done. The gentleman that called, I feel I feel for him. I've been through it. It's just ridiculous. It takes too long to do simple things. Trying to even register your company or buy. People tell you a CFO it takes years. Why should it take years? That should be something.
I'm not calling from the UK. Obviously, the diaspora people are calling today. I think it's Balogun from the UK. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, please.
As my fellow diaspora is talking there, I mean, it's so disheartening that you leave Nigeria for many years and you go back there, they treat you like a stranger. And as you rightly said to the previous caller, you can't even trust your mother. It's so ridiculous. Everything, the bureaucratic system in Nigeria is so appalling. I have a business in Nigeria. I'm trying my hard-earned money, changing them pounds here to pay the staff. Still, just to have a permission or a grant or something like NAFDAC number, you take it doesn't make any sense at all. So you are not, we feel we are not welcomed to come back to Nigeria to do something.
Thank you very much, Balogun.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
So the question then I have is, I mean, when you're away, you have so many investment opportunities to put your money in Facebook, in Apple, and you get guaranteed returns. Why would any Nigerian in diaspora want to come and invest? Apart from love, apart from love, but does love for your home, does it?
That's why I said charity, not enterprise.
Let me jump in here. Go ahead.
So I was reading the research recently. I think that was last week, and I shared the same view with the researcher because he was saying that we see Nigerians in diaspora as money bags. So we like their money. They send money to us, we accept it. They send fees, send just for us to sort out ourselves and survive in a very environment that's not so conducive, and then we like it. But then when they now tell us they are coming back, the relationship sort of changes. We are no longer it becomes a competition because we see you as you're better than me right now. You're coming to speak that accent, give us that accent. Even in the offices, they are being fought. So you come and you're taking over a position, and then they see is it not because, what does he know? And then you make some, you give some ideas and they say, you don't understand the country, you are not here with us. So how do you think that you guys coming to have businesses here, do you think that we are ready to accept you as part of ourselves?
Well, I don't know that. I think that each individual, you have to kind of judge your own experience. Yeah. But we did not come back. We were determined to come back. I've been gone 40 years. I wanted to come back and give back. Right. Nigeria gave me, back when they used to have scholarship, gave me scholarship to go. Right. And I've done well, and so I'm back. I want to give back. Right. But you are right, you are correct, that there are those things. But then in spite of those things, I think you can still create an enabling environment.
Okay, let me take this call from London again.
But it's a real issue.
The Londoners are really calling us today. I think I have Agbe. Thanks for calling. Go ahead. Agbe, go ahead. Hello, are you there? Don't listen to your TV. Listen to us directly.
Yeah,
hello, Abe. Go ahead, please.
I'm the first time caller. Anyway.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm calling from the UK.
We're listening.
Hello, can you hear me?
You are listening to your TV. Go ahead. We can hear you. I have to cut that line off.
Yes. All right. Yeah, apparently we all want to come home. Like myself, I've been coming home for the past 10 years, twice every year. Nigerians, the way we are is totally different from the way we in the diaspora do things. But what we in the diaspora need to understand is that a lot of Nigerians, they are cool. I'm sorry to say that, but you just have to work with them and let them know that you are not stupid. Because sometimes you're trying to help them, giving them jobs, and we think you're just somebody who they can do. But kind of technology now. Technology has brought things further. If you want to build a house in Nigeria, If you are building, if they cannot do a video call with you, you should know that it's scam. If you're doing something that you cannot see through social media, that means there's a problem in there.
Right.
So people need to know that going to Nigeria is very, very difficult.
Okay.
When I'm coming to Nigeria, I take my UK mentality, neutral, and as soon as I get to
Nigeria, Nigerian mentality. Come back to the crease.
All right, thank you very much, Abel. I have to cut you off there, unfortunately. But I want us to take this conversation somewhere. I'll come to you, Mariam, because you said something that is very cogent. It's important that we understand it. What I've heard you say so far is that there's a way of doing Nigeria, business the Nigerian way. Right. And there's a way of doing it the proper international standard way. Right. Now, what you need as a diaspora living abroad, coming to Nigeria, you need people you need trusted hands that are actually doing business the right way. Now, hopefully, we can form a platform of these who are trusted, who've certified by WFO, by World Bank, the government, by whomever it is that's been certified. So the Nigerians know where to go to do things properly, because that makes it easier for you, so you can invest your money. That's what you said so far, right? That's
exactly right.
I also think that we get a lot of revenues from this diaspora that is channeled in every way. But if we have, like the caller that's wanted to register is CFO, not having to speak through a Nigerian, but go straight to the diaspora office in Lagos, and then the diaspora office collects money from him and register him and get a CFO officially. That way, there's nobody cheating anybody. But we have a few tweets.
When we come back, we'll take the tweets and a call. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. I think we still have Hakeem again from the UK. UK people are calling today. Wow. So you people can call us, eh? All right, go ahead, Mr. Hakeem.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, go ahead.
I think the gentleman, the lady to your left, made my point for me.
Right.
I came to Nigeria, I actually moved to Nigeria in 2011.
Okay.
And after 4 years, I came back.
Why?
Returned to the UK because I was frustrated. And anytime they want to use my brain, they said, oh, we are Nigerians. When they want to do their own business, they say I'm from diaspora.
I don't understand.
So and all these things that they were doing, I just find it very, very ridiculous, because they talk about international standard, but they are not actually following international standard. And you are a threat to them once they know that you are from abroad and you want to contribute something. They think that, we've been there so long, facing all these issues. You just came in and you want to just benefit from.
Yeah, this is what Obajilo was saying.
Rather than trying to work together and share knowledge and improve things. And the ones I met with.
Thank you very much, Hakeem. Made your point. Great. So let's take a few tweets.
Oluwafemi Adenrito says, I am a practicing lawyer in Lagos. I empathize with the lawyers in Edo State who, according to the report, have suffered kidnapping in recent times. However, I doubt the effectiveness of this directive for capital offenses. The law is clear that there must be legal representation. He also continued, for the defendant, if the defendant cannot afford one, the court can direct that he gets one from legal aid. Lawyers in legal aid are also members of the NBA, so should they decline because defendants who are probably guilty will likely have the financial ability to retain them. Lawyers from Lagos or Abuja or any other part of the country by this directive, NBA of Edo is deliberately ignoring the presumption of innocence, which ought to be more tangible to the lawyers who have probably relied on it in the past than to other persons. So
that's regarding our first topic for those that are just joining the show. But we'll probably discuss it further later on another show.
Ola Joseph says, a white man creates an environment that allows positive ideas, thoughts, entrepreneurial skills, and mindset to flourish. A black man creates the one that kills them. The difference between a black and a white government is the government must make the environment conducive for business to flourish here.
Yes,
the National Youth Council of Nigeria says kindly share his contact with us. Also, let everyone in diaspora interested in coming home contact Ekiti Youths at NYCN Ekiti
Let's not mention
State.
their, what is that? Mariam, don't mention the address here.
We'll change your narrative, and you can be sure you are in safe hands. And then, Ola Joseph, Ola says, a white man creates an environment that
She read that. That was what she read.
Andrew
Okay, let me just go to what Mariam said, the tweet you read, which is what we're trying to correct here. She's read a tweet from somebody who's saying you should come and invest in Ekiti. And what we're trying to do on this show is ask that person to contact the summit, the investment summit, either being hosted by the federal government or your state's government. The reason is because lots of these people contact the diasporas directly, and they're swindled. So what we rather is you go to a body, a government body, register with them. They would have done their own due diligence to ensure that you're actually legit. So when he wants to invest, he comes to that body to ask for your own contact, and then takes it from there. So we don't do directly.
So we don't have that body yet, though.
We don't have that body, but we can create that body. But I'll let you have the final word, because
I think having a process that can be trusted is really key to all we have been saying. So my recommendation to anybody who wants to do business with folks in the diaspora is that we're looking to do legitimate business with legitimate people.
Right.
So if there is a legitimate process or body, make that known to us. We will walk through those people. Equally, have your people screened on who are Nigerians trying to do business with us, so that we can, engage them, because so that both ideas can mesh with the right process.
How long have you been back in home? How long have you been home?
I've been back home officially. I moved back December 1, but I've been coming back and forth the last 15 years. I just waited till I retired so I can just come back.
Are you getting to that frustration threshold, like, you know what, I'm going to go back?
You just came.
Have you gone to that?
I am determined to succeed.
So, you're here. Okay, fantastic. Great to know. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
On the show. We're still going to bring you back, because once we tried to get the Honorable Bika Dabiri on the phone, but unfortunately we couldn't reach her. We'll try to get the both of you talking on the same issue. It'd be nice to hear our own thoughts and your own views so that we can solve this problem. We really want you, diasporans, that 24 billion must be used judiciously in our country. All right, that's all we can take on the show. Do you know that we have an app? You can download it both on the Android and iOS stores. The app allows you to watch us anywhere in the world, so you can have a proper TVC app. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.